You have, will you like to share in a couple of minutes your personal experience with the 1984?
Yeah, I was in Delhi in one of the most burning places, and we were almost surrounded, and we were, I mean, about 5 or 10 of us were sure, we were sure that we'll be roasted alive, and it was a miracle. Yeah, but the one thing we did that even by police and all this, we were asked, we had little kirpans and 1 or 2 guns, licensed guns. So they asked us to surrender the weapons and then make peace. We said no. We'll rather die fighting than to die without a weapon. And I was in a place called, it was in East Delhi, and that was one of the most horrible places. We saw Sikhs being burned alive the next day, and we also saw Congress leaders coming to rescue of the rioters, those who rioted, and and they were at the back of genocide, and one that Rajiv Gandhi, he told that जब बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है तो धरती तो हिलती है, as if it was. The poor fellow didn't understand, जब धरती हिलती है तो कितने पेड़ गिरते हैं. A big tree falls, earth shakes. But he should also know, I mean, he should have also known, when the earth shakes, how many trees fall. So it is two-way, it is not one way. And this particular party and this family, they have discriminated, they are biased against Sikhs, and unfortunately, they have made us believe that Hindus are against, and also vice versa. There are a lot of friends who support, who worship, who admire Sikhs like anything. They respect Gurus more than anyone.
Oh, absolutely. I love Gurus myself.
Yes, there are also other kind of people. So this has to be worked out rather than to be blown out.
You are from Delhi and you are a Sardar. You have been there for a long time. I'm sure you have been there for 1984. Okay. You have seen
Yes.
the massacre that happened.
Yes.
And when I talk to my Sikh friends in Canada, okay, they say it is a Hindu-Sikh riot. Okay, but I have heard many stories of Hindus and Sikh coming together and protecting it and those kind of things. So what I was told was it is Congress party which was against the Sikh, which went on a rampage. But why certain people are promoting Hindu versus Sikh in the riot, and what is you as a person who witnessed it? Can you add some input to it?
First, it was not a riot, it was a genocide.
Mm-hmm.
It was an ethnic cleansing designed by Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And this very party and this very family, this not only engineered genocide against Sikhs, they also engineered genocide against Maharashtrians, Maharashtrian Brahmins, against
Tamils.
Sadhu, who were just. So that's what I'm saying. We are the genocide cousins, not cousins. Though we are same DNA, and if you don't believe, someone doesn't believe, okay, we are different. Yeah, we may be different in many ways. It's like when you say, are you a Hindu, or it's like being a French doesn't stop me from being a European. Of course, I'm a European because I'm a French. And because you are a European, that's why you are a French.
Right.
So this is what we are. It is a greater commonwealth, the Hindu commonwealth, and then, like say, we are not idol worshippers. Well, there were sects, and still there are many sects in Hinduism. They don't believe in idol worship.
Nobody does. Anybody who does meditation doesn't follow idol worship in general. Yeah.
That is one thing. And a Hindu is a term which one has to understand before saying that Sikhs are Hindus or not, or this is or not. well, even an atheist can be a Sikh or a Hindu. So there's nothing that stops from Sikh being a Hindu. So far, yes, if someone tries to put it, internalize or put it in a short form, okay, when you go to a mandir, you do this kind of worship, then only you're Hindu. Then sorry, I'm not a Hindu in that way, because I'm not an idol worshipper. So by that definition, I'm not a Hindu. But when we go for a greater definition, there are a lot more of Hindus who are not caste-dharis, who are not Sikhs, they're not even from Punjab, and they don't worship idols. And there are a lot of non-caste-dharis. They follow other principle of Sikhism. They worship Guru Nanak like anything, and
So in our temples we have Guru Nanak Ji's idol there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that is there will be more in Sikhism, and most of these Palestinian, and unfortunately even in Punjab, lot of Sikhs are not Pakistanis. They believe themselves as Sikhs. They say themselves they also support Khalistan, but they are not Sikhs. So that is a very. So first, if it has to be there, if at all it has to be there, so let's start it from Lahore. Let's capture Lahore first, and then think anything.
The politicians like Jagmeet Singh of Canada, okay, one of the leading politicians from Sikh community, and his brother and many other Sikh politicians, okay, they create a venom against Hindus in support of Pakistan, okay, yes, on the name of 1984 riot. Okay, I want you to talk to the children who may be listening to you, the Sikh children. What is the truth? You are a Sikh gentleman, and who fight for the cause. You are an activist. I want you to say them what happened in a language they can understand, if you can.
Well, the Sikh history, of course, 1984 was unfortunate. It was a genocide. It was not riots, it was genocide. One thing. It was ethnic cleansing planned by Congress. That's one thing. Second thing is, but the Sikh history or the Sikh, it was not the first time. The history didn't start from 1984. There was 47, and throughout we have been targeted.
Pakistan, Lahore genocide.
Yeah, there were good neighbors even in Pakistan, and even my grandfather, paternal grandfather, they had, when you stay in the same village, in the same city, yes, you have, like you interact with so many people, maybe Sikhs or maybe Muslims. So there were good people, there were who helped, and there were who, again, but by and large, it is not Hindus which you are against Sikhs, and they are still not. Yes, there is a section, like there is also a section amongst Sikhs. They say Hindus are responsible, and there is also a section in Hindus. And so, having lived in Delhi, I have also faced it many times, not one time, many times. But the only thing is that God gave me wisdom and courage. Well, if it's a road accident, error can be done by a Sikh or anyone. But yes, but a lot of people, they start abusing Sikhs. That's what happens, and that was, as a very emotional community, that is also overreacted by us. We are being discriminated for being Sikhs. There is no doubt about that. But we are also being loved for being a Sikh.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can vouch for you on one thing. When Sikhs come to southern part of India, yes, even though Navjot Singh Sidhu once said that he gets more respect in Pakistan than Madras. I honestly believe it is a lie. It is a shame on him to say like that, because when the Sikh walks on the roads of Madras, the amount of respect they get is unbelievable. I know that personally.
I know. There was some municipal councillor in Chennai, Sikh municipal councillor.
Lot of this.
I know And I know a Tamil friend, so who is a Kesadhari Sikh, Amritdhari Sikh now. So there's nothing. I mean, well, that's something different. But yes, at times we are discriminated because once you are singled out uh, by your appearance, you will be, at times you will be discriminated and at times you will be loved. So that is natural. Uh, if I just, you just give me a minute. Well, when we were students in class 10, so we were making some kind of nuisance on the road. Students from my school, I mean, 6 or 7 of them, trying to harass, I mean, not exactly harass, but I mean, a class 10 student or a class 9 student, we were trying to play smart, asking, it was just like asking someone, a gentleman, sir, what's time? So he said, 7 o'clock. So we simply said, okay, what's your problem if it's 7? I mean, as a kid, we just wanted to make a fun. And then somebody reported to our principal that the kids of your school, they are creating nonsense, nuisance outside the school. And every day in the morning, they create something. And as a kid, 7 or 8 of us, we used to say, okay, uncle, what's time? He says 7. Okay, what's your problem? If it was 8, what you could have done if it was 8? So something like, I mean, and then we all laughed. And then someone complained that these kids there. So the principal said, can you identify the kids? Because we were all in the uniform. So it was, he said, yes, I can identify. One of them was sick. So I was, so then I had to pay price for being identified. And at the same time, yeah, it also works the other way around. So it's
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.